Weaverville, NC, Kirby Smith, Lightspeed Construction, doing a roof inspection for a potential owner-buyer situation. And I've been asked to take a look at this roof and give feedback, and so I'm going to do so. We've got several points that are very positive with this roof. Number one, I've walked all over this roof. I'm going to stand in the shade here while I talk. I've walked all over this roof, and all the deck boards seem perfectly acceptable. There's really not any give, no bowing worth mentioning. The lines are nice and straight. The rafters appear to be great, so all of that's strong. The roof has drip edge, which is important as well. Folks definitely know about it. It holds up the edge of the roof, both at the eave and then at the gables as well, so that's good. The other mention, the rows are nice and straight. When you look down the rows of the shingles, somebody used a chalk line. They got the exposure and the rows exactly right, so they look great. And that's a very important thing. In the not positive category, mention number one, ridge vent of this roof doesn't appear to be ventilating. You hold your hand up against the ridge vent, there's really no heat coming out of the attic space. Maybe cause this shingle to age a little bit quicker than it should, gripe, but it happens. I think with a replace of a ridge vent, this owner should definitely take care of that issue. And that'll protect both the boards of the roof and the shingles from aging prematurely. Before I get to the rest, the bad news, I personally think this roof has 2 to 5 more years on it, and I think this roof can be limped along for sure. But whoever takes this roof over needs to understand, and whoever owns this roof needs to understand that there are some issues with it. That's what I'm here for. So issue number one, on the back side of this roof, when you just begin to peel up, where shingles meet the unions, well, look at that. Hey, first one I went to, that nail is not placed correctly. If you peel this up, this is where 2 shingles meet. Let's take a look at the other side right here. You should be seeing that nail more along right here, 6 inches away, not 1 inch away, or exactly in that union. Water can come down here and possibly have a problem with this nail head. That is a level of exposure with this roof and possible issue. This is really what you should be seeing, that nail about 6 inches away. Same speak to over there, about 6 inches away from the union of the shingle. On the front, as I started to look, it was maybe even a few more places that were similar to this, where you see that nail right here. It's kind of dark in color. I wouldn't say rusty. Maybe about 2 inches away. That's not really acceptable. On this side, it's about 4 inches away. And what I'm kind of calculating is that the nails of the shingle are a little too close to the unions in about half of the instances that I'm seeing. So that is not great news. It doesn't mean impending doom. It doesn't mean the roof's going to fail any quicker. It could mean possible roof leaks. It could mean possible roof issues. So that's worth a mention. This owner can speak to what has been going on with his roof probably more than anybody. And sometimes there's no problems when you put those shingles or put those nails a little too close to the union of shingles. Sometimes it's not an issue. Unfortunately, sometimes it is. That does cause roof leaks. The other mention I've got that's of issue that I take with this roof is that shingles, and this is probably the best place to represent this, the shingles are not exactly laid correctly. So as you see a union, and we already talked about what a union is. It's where the shingles meet. You see a union here, you see a union here, a union here, union here, and it looks like they're in a pattern. Well, they are, but that pattern unfortunately is not exactly correct for this design of shingle. You should see a stagger pattern. And I'll go ahead and drop a link to conversation about stagger from our website, how you want to see a stagger shingle with this dimensional. You don't really ever want to see this is called racking. You don't want to see dimensional shingles get racked. So it's worth mentioning that these shingles have been laid incorrectly. Now, let me be honest. There's no perfect roof in the state of North Carolina. I don't care whose house or who did it. Nobody's roof is perfect. These are times where, folks get roofs put on their homes and their properties, and you know, they get a good shingle and they get the job done, and sometimes there may be an issue or two. I think I can safely say that this is outside of a normal threshold of what issues might be, but that doesn't mean that you have to have problems with this roof. These are some things that are, they're very straightforward. I think most any roofer that would come here and inspect this property would probably locate these same type issues. But it was, definitely important for me to disclose these to, the owner and potential buyer as well. So I wanted to make sure this was, visible. So I guess in recap, we got nice straight rows, we've got good boards, we've got drip edge, we've got ridge vent that's not exactly venting. We got a little pitting in the roof here and there, not too much of an issue. We've also got shingles that aren't exactly laid correctly and nails that aren't exactly placed correctly either. And those could be issues. And hey, maybe they're not issues. I think that's the honest executive summary. So I think with that said, that's probably all I have to say about this roof. I think 2 to 5 years is a very reasonable expectation on this roof, or maybe until the next hailstorm or something. But hopefully that helps, guys. Thank you very much for having me out on this property. And Weaverville, be cool. We'll talk to you soon. This is Kirby Smith with Lakespeed Construction. Thank you very much.